Hello everyone. Well, so as they say, winter is here and now is going to be a sort of Nintendo Switch vlog. Now that I've spent some time with my new console. I've had it for almost a week now, and first thing I'm gonna do is like just simple kind of size comparison as sorts, or it's with some of my other stuff, and just ignore those messages on the screen there if you see any of them. And here's the console right there. It is close to actual size it was in the box, and right above it is my Wii U's gamepad. I had to say the screen is about the same size, and even if the console itself is physically smaller than just the gamepad. And even though I still enjoyed my Wii U, I'm still gonna hold on to it, obviously. Still stuff I want to play on it, just for a sec. And I understood what it was when I first unveiled. That was one point of contention and confusing advertising. People have that basically as was a new controller or new console. They said when they unveiled this puppy, why not all three? And the only one that did not seem to be canon anymore, according to them, was the Virtual Boy, and people always compare that to the Wii U, but I personally think more apt would probably be the GameCube, given how it was an unconventional design that not everybody knew what to do with, least of all people trying to make or distribute games on it. And even though it was slightly more powerful than its senior, it was still not quite as beefy as I compare to Sony and Microsoft. I try not to get too hung up about it, but it's not a big deal. And also, obviously, for further comparison, my 3DS right here, which I'm going to hold on to as well, maybe upgrade it, is also a bit smaller than, and if you'll just bear with me here, heck, and also internally, hey, it's kind of similar to the iPad in many ways, given how that was another deterrent that also affected development, that the hardware was unique, but also the architecture made it difficult for a lot of developers to work with, compared to how that's something that's been a recurring history I noticed in the industry about development. Oh, it's already in the console spot. Rather than disk-based games that, the system uses game cards, like smaller kinds of cartridges can hold more data than they used to. And the cartridges are actually physically smaller. If you could give me how to film that, trying to get the angle there. There it is. That can hold lots more space than they used to. And also, as opposed to the 3DS, where the cartridge slot is on this card model has on the bottom, kind of like the original whole Game Boy and Game Boy Color have, as well as the first black 3DS I got before I stopped supporting the standard models. The cartridge slot is actually on the top of the console, so, and thankfully also slots clearly marked for the game card to go in, and just need to try and get that open there. It's kind of tricky sometimes. And you basically put it in with the game card facing you, the front label facing you, by the way. You push it in until it physically clicks in like the 3DS does, close that, and also that's basically what the OS looks like. You wake up from sleep mode, you press it, the same button 3 times. That's what the home menu is like, kind of like how simple the OS looks as well. But just kind of like how very user-friendly interface there. And just press the home button to resume when I was playing. That this is basically the online software there. I didn't want to just do a free trial, like, because people wanted to go back inside. Also, I opted in for a year, and also disengage the auto renewal, so I'll be able to do it on my terms. So And I'm still trying to get acquainted with the service as a whole, how it's acquired, and even though not every feature is supported for every game just yet, most likely as it goes on, they'll probably add it in with patches, and just means since if I may play Dark Rise Advocate, that Nintendo isn't totally known for nailing everything when they launch. Heck, I'm old enough to remember how several previous consoles are released been marked by shortages, given how they had to do another run of the NES and Super NES Classic because they vastly underestimated how many people would want the toy, or how many people would want to relive the favorite memories was introduced in a new generation. I mean, but getting ahead of myself. So this is a current lineup. There's not that many ones out there, but there's kind of a good selection, relatively okay selection of games more to come. I mean, in terms of the order, I think the newest ones I got that seem to be available are Adventure to Lolo, the original Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, and Warriors Woods, which is the last ever game released for the original NES, and it was a good one to go out. And I'm fairly interested in a puzzle game, including some and also I have some of my favorites like the original Zelda, Mario Brothers 3, and also surprisingly addicted to a lot of the puzzle games like Yoshi and Dr. Mario. And to think, it's kind of quaint in hindsight that they were actually upset about how casually they're playing and depicting the medicine. I mean, not everything's a classic, but it's definitely got some good variety on there. There's contingency for more stuff, and supposedly rebranding, hinting to eShop. I'll just see where that goes. Anyway, I'm also enjoying Pokemon Let's Go and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as you can tell. I'm just about to challenge the training for Saffron City. I'm retaking Self Tower. I mean, just gonna dock this real quick while I take care of what the dog's doing. And my brother's made a profile, he's also enjoying it. So I'll give you my friend code once I get more acquainted with the online service. And for now, I will talk to you all later.